Okay guys, so we got some bad news today. It looks like Sony and Guerrilla Games be are not going to do another Killzone game, and that's a shame. And I really enjoyed the games, and seeing that they are not going to make another one, it's a bit sad. But let's see what is. Shout out to Push Square for the article. Let's see what it says. If there ever is to be another Killzone title out of Sony in the future, you probably should not expect it to come out of the series' original developer Guerrilla Games. Okay, so it looks like they are open to have another studio work on the Killzone franchise, which is good. I'm not gonna say it's a bad thing. Having shifted focus to its more vibrant Horizon series following PS4 launch game Killzone Shadowfall, the studio's art director Roy Postma has commented that the studio was done with it as a team. It wanted to create the opposite of Killzone's color palette when crafting Aloy's first installment, Postma told the Washington Post. The comments come from an interview about LEGO Horizon Adventures, where it's revealed LEGO approached Sony about the idea of a LEGO game following the release of its Tall Neck LEGO set, talking about switching from the dark and gritty world of Killzone to the colorful post-apocalyptic setting of Horizon. Postma said, "We were done with it, Killzone, as a team. As a studio, we needed to refresh the palette. It was by choice, the opposite of Killzone. I think the themes that the story and the characters represent are relatable for all ages and people, like having a found family of friends and finding your place in the world." Okay, but this is the thing. Why don't they make both games? Insomniac makes Spider-Man, makes Ratchet, it's doing Wolverine, so why can't Guerrilla Games make Horizon and Killzone? This is the part I don't understand. You could do both. You don't have to put one aside to do the other. I think that's a bit stupid, but Guerrilla Games created Killzone titles from 2004 until 2013, spamming 5 entries across 4 consoles. With Sony making a push into the live service market, the Killzone franchise is one that fans have pegged for a comeback, along with the likes of Socom and Twisted Metal. This hasn't materialized, however, as Sony's release and quickly pulled Concord while finding major success in Helldivers 2 earlier this year. Fair games from Haven Studio and Bungie's own Marathon are also on the way. If there is ever to be another Killzone game, it sounds like Guerrilla Games has little enthusiasm to make it. How do you feel about that? This is the point. Man, and if you think about this, in the era of the PS3, Sony had so many, not only great single player games, but with great multiplayer. Uncharted 2, great game with great multiplayer. Uncharted 3, great game with great multiplayer. The first Last of Us, great game with great multiplayer. Resistance games, great games with great multiplayer. Killzone games, great games with great multiplayers. How is it that we are, more than 10 years apart from that, from the PS3 era? Damn. But how is it that back then they could do great single player games with the bonus of a great multiplayer mode, and now they can't do that? They spent $400 million on Concord. That was garbage. Nobody wanted that. Nobody asked for that. And back then, they would do single player games with multiplayer modes and didn't spend nearly the amount of the money they spent on Concord. And it's like, how is it that... Okay, I get it that games today to make are more demanding, and they have more things to worry about, but the technology has also improved to help with that. Every time I hear people say, oh, games today are more harder to make and all of that, okay, but we have better technology now to make better games. Back then it was also hard to make good video games, and the technology was worse. So that is a point that I don't really understand when people say, games are hard to make, blah blah blah. How about if you hire the best people for the job? Maybe the games aren't that hard to make. I don't know. Look at Sega with the Like a Dragon games. They make what, almost a new game every year, and they are all good. Why is that? Because they have good people working there. At least that's what I think. But it's a bit sad to see that we are not gonna get another Killzone game, at least from Guerrilla. I hope they give it. I hope they do a remake and they give it to like Blue Point. I think it's Blue Point that did Shadow of the Colossus. Great remake. Give it to a studio that can make something like that. And man, I think, I might be wrong, but I think if they do a remake of Killzone, it's gonna be a great success for them. And it's a game that, I said it in the past, but Killzone is a franchise that deserves a remake way more than Horizon Zero Dawn deserves. But that's just me. Okay guys, I will leave it at that. RIP to Killzone. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.